Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I am here with Chris McMahon of the Colorado Rockies. Thank you, Chris, for joining us today. How you doing?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm doing pretty well.
How's the season going so far for you?
Pretty good. Just relaxing the last month and hanging out at home here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Just kind of hanging out with parents, seeing friends and stuff like that. So can't really complain. Been pretty relaxing.
Good, getting ready to get back to work this off season,
Yeah, I'm excited to get back to ball. Yep.
Awesome. So let's get right to it. What was it like being drafted in high school by the Braves? You were a high school player of the year in 2017. You had a .77 ERA. I mean, what was it like,
It was cool. It was fun. Definitely coming out of high school. There's a lot of excitement, especially around your friends that you grew up with, and they're all excited for you and stuff. So it was cool to get that moment and stuff. But obviously, I didn't go. I decided to go to college down to the University of Miami, where I had a lot of fun too. And I think it all worked out for me. And now I'm with the Rockies and having a good time.
But like, what made you choose Miami? Like, did you have any other offers going into college, or?
Yeah, so there's a few schools. There's a couple schools from Pennsylvania, like Penn State and St. Joe's and Philadelphia and stuff like that. But I kind of knew I wanted to get away from home a little bit, away from Pennsylvania. Had offers from NC State. Was looking into Wake Forest a little bit, but when Miami called and when I went on that visit, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer. Go down there with that weather and just that school, that program they have. And it was kind of an easy decision, and I'm glad I went there.
Did you enjoy your time down there in Miami, though?
Oh, yeah. I loved it. It was fun. It was there's a lot of people down there. It's very, very populated, different culture for sure than where I'm from, with just all different types of people from everywhere. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. In 2020, you were on like a Gold Spikes Watchlist. Did you know that throughout the season? Like, did you like have a little bit more pressure on you to succeed? And what do you attribute your success to throughout that?
I didn't really put too much pressure on myself when I found out I was on that watch list. I thought it was cool to be on that watch list. I mean, that's like supposed to be best player in college baseball, and to be able to be looked at for that was really cool. And but I just went out and played hard, and that team we had that year was really good. Unfortunately, COVID hit and everything and kind of banged everything, but it is what it is. It hurt a lot of people. So, but yeah, that was a fun 4 weeks, I guess you could say, 5 weeks, whatever it was.
It was somewhat of a season, but like leading up to, you still got your work and everything, like the preseason and the fall. So it wasn't a total wash.
Yeah, exactly.
At Miami, what was your coolest moment? Like first start, for playoff appearance kind of thing? What was it?
Oof. Cool moment. I guess for me, we didn't end up winning the game, which was disappointing. But my sophomore year, when we went to Gainesville to play Florida, that was my first time pitching against them because I was hurt my freshman year. And just going there in a hostile environment in front of probably 5, 6, maybe even 7,000 Gator fans, just pitching. I pitched really well, pitched into the 7th inning, not much going for them. And that was just really cool. I mean, I remember giving up, I think it was like a leadoff double in like the 5th inning or something, and just realizing how many people were actually there because of how loud it got. And I ended up getting out of that inning and stuff, but it was really cool just to be able to do that against a rival team in their place in front of a bunch of fans, really loud. And that was probably one of the coolest games ever.
I'm pretty sure the fans are pretty hostile too to Miami, because they're the Florida rivalry.
Yeah, when Florida came to our place my junior year, the following year, that was also pretty packed. There was not an empty seat in the stands, and pitched pretty well that game too. So, but I don't know, something about that game when I went to Gainesville was really, really cool, really special to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now you're with the Rockies. You were drafted in the 2nd round, 46 overall pick. What were your emotions like on draft day? How'd you find out? Were you watching the TV? Were you with your family? What was it
I
like?
was I was doing both. I was with my family. My parents were here. My grandparents were here. I actually had a bunch. I probably had around 8 to 10 of my high school friends here as well. Um, I had to wait until the second day, but that moment I got a call from my agent, probably 2 picks right before the Rockies or something, or probably right before the pick. And he just said, "Hey, Rockies are taking you right here. Watch the TV. I'm hanging up the phone right now." I said, "Okay, cool." He just hung up the phone. I went back in the room. All my friends and my family are kind of looking at me like, what just happened? And then I didn't say anything. I just kept watching the TV, and sure enough, they called my name, and everyone got excited, and it was a cool moment.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Did you get to go to Coors Field to sign?
I did. I did. I went. I guess it was like a month after the draft or something. I went out to Denver for probably 3-4 days. Got to check out Coors Field and just the Denver, the city. I've never been until
Mm.
then, so it was a cool experience as well.
You like it thus far? Though you like
Yep.
Colorado?
Yep. Yep.
Um, Pro ball. From college to pro ball, what has been like your biggest adjustment thus far that you've had to make? Because I know people say it's like a huge adjustment or a big jump, or some people they say have no problem adjusting to what it is.
Yeah, it was definitely a change for sure. I don't know about like a huge change, but it was definitely a change because you're going on more of a week to week schedule. Maybe like college, you have the full week. In pro ball, you don't have the full week. You probably I'm on like a 5-6 day schedule for when I got to throw next, being a starting pitcher. So I'd say the biggest adjustment was just week to week preparation. I mean, you gotta like no matter how well you do in your start, like you got to get back to work the very next day because you don't have much time to get ready for your next start. And if you don't do what you need to do properly, like you might get humbled a little bit. So
Yeah. Have you gotten a chance to face? Has any big league guys come down there and in a rehab start or anything, or have
yep,
you gotten to face
I
any?
actually I piggybacked Peter Lambert twice. I think he was in the big leagues in 2019. I think
Mhm.
he ended up getting Tommy John, I think it was. And this year he was kind of just working his way back. And he came to Spokane for, I think it was 2 or 3 starts. He would only go about 2 innings.
Mhm.
And I actually came in out of the bullpen behind him twice. And I think I ended up throwing like 6 or 7 innings out of the pen behind him.
That's
But
awesome.
it's cool to watch those guys, and you just kind of learn off of them. Obviously,
Mhm.
they've gotten to the big leagues, they've been there, so you just kind of talk to them a little bit, pick their brain, see what they do, see how they prepare, and just take it for yourself.
Have you gotten any good advice from from him or from anyone else, like a manager or a former or like a player that you've met along your road thus far?
Yeah, oof. I would say a lot of it's like you really got to worry about your own game a lot. I
Mhm.
feel like in pro ball because like yeah, you're competing against your own teammates essentially because everyone's trying to make it up. But that doesn't mean you gotta like not be a good teammate with them, and be like have that camaraderie with them. So when it comes to baseball and your business, you just gotta you gotta just stick to yourself, stick to your plan and what you gotta do. And just doesn't mean you can't be a good teammate or anything, but I think it's really like just kind of staying in your lane and doing what you know and doing what you need. So
Last question before we I got actually two more. Have you enjoyed your minor league lifestyle thus far? Is it a grind like people say, or has it been enjoyable, the grind?
it's definitely both. I mean, it's definitely enjoyable. I mean, I get to play baseball every single day. I get to go to the baseball field every day and hang out with teammates who become some of my best friends throughout the summer. But it definitely is a grind. I mean, you play over 100 and we played over 120 games this year, something I've never done. So it is a grind every single day. I mean, you gotta kick yourself in the butt a little bit, get your work done, and do what you need to do to take care of your body and stay healthy. So it does get long. I mean, it's like 4 or 5 months of the season plus spring training, and so It's both. It's enjoyable. It's a grind, but I mean, that's kind of what we signed up for. So,
Especially on those days you don't want to go to the ballpark kind of thing. Like you're just not.
yeah, exactly. Like once you hit game like 90, it's like, oh man, I'm still doing this and blah.
Like,
It's
I got
when it's
another
like,
2 months
yeah,
left.
yeah, exactly. You still got some time, and yeah, exactly.
When did it finally hit you that you're like, I'm finally in pro, like I'm a pro ball player? Was it your contract signing? Was it your first start? Or
I'd say honestly, probably when I showed up to spring training, because when I signed and everything, COVID was still going on. So that whole summer, I still wasn't doing much. Like I went out to Denver for a weekend, signed, and then just kind of came home and just kept training at home and throwing at home. And it obviously doesn't feel like anything's going on. And then I went out to instructional league, and that was fun, but that was only like 5 weeks long. And then went back home for the winter. So I'd say when I showed up to spring training this past year, and I guess it was March or whatever, and you really get the feel of everybody being there, all the minor league guys being there. There's stuff going on 4 or 5 different fields and games going on everywhere. And that's kind of when I think it hit me. It's like, all right, like this is what it's all about. Like this is pro ball. Like you got to show up every day and play and be ready. So
everyone out there is competing for a spot. You gotta
exactly.
have fun, enjoy, but also like compete.
Yep, exactly.
All right, for some questions about your youth and your baseball opinions.
All right.
In your opinion, who's the face of baseball right now?
Oof, the face of baseball. Oh man, that's a good one. It's got to be Mike Trout. It's got to be, even though he's kind of been in and out. I mean, his teammate Ohtani is putting on a show too. He's doing some special stuff, just the way he's hitting it and throwing it, and it's crazy they're both on the same team as well. It's got to be one of those two. I'd say Trout still. I'd give Trout the edge. Give Trout the edge. Yeah.
He's just got to stay a little bit healthy, and I think.
Yeah, I know. He just plays the game so hard, and obviously he plays every single day because you gotta have that guy in the lineup every day. But yeah, he does need to find a way to stay on the field, but I think he will. He'll be fine.
Who has been your favorite MLB player growing up? Like, who'd you emulate? Like, was it a pitcher like growing up that you wanted to be? Or
for me, when I was a kid, I mean, I wasn't always just a pitcher growing up. So I grew up near Philadelphia, so I went to a lot of Phillies games, and Chase Utley was a guy I watched all the time. I mean, that guy just played the game as hard as he possibly could every single day. Pretty good ball player at the same time, and helped the Phillies win a World Series, who were my favorite team growing up as a child and stuff, and I was there when they won it. So Chase Utley's got to be number one on my list.
I noticed that you're one of the top 30 prospects for the Rockies. How does that affected you, or do you get like a notice about that you've been put on a watch list, or you just see it as it comes and you just perform to the way that you know how to perform?
Right there. Yeah, it is what it is. It's cool. Obviously, everybody wants to be on that list. You want to be as high as you can and be noticed and try and make it to the big leagues. But if you can't really put too much pressure on yourself for that stuff, and you just got to go play the game each and every day, each and every week, and just do one start at a time, one game at a time, and all that list and everything will take care of itself, I think, if you just focus on that.
My last question for you today is, what's your biggest piece of advice that you can tell a kid trying to chase a dream of either making it to college ball and then eventually getting drafted, or just trying to get a pro contract?
Honestly, I would just say compete in anything you can. It doesn't have to be just baseball. I played multiple sports growing up, like a lot, anything, just with your friends, and go out and compete and learn how to deal with failure and adversity, because it's going to happen a lot, especially in the game of baseball. And if that's the game you're trying to pursue, it's going to happen more than often. And so I would say those two things. Like, if you have the chance to go compete, and it's not just in baseball, go do it. Go play basketball, go play soccer, go play football, go do whatever it is you want to do. Have some fun with your childhood friends. And at the same time, when adversity hits, and then if you fail, just you can't like get down on yourself at all. You just gotta keep moving along, keep chugging along, and taking it day by day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining me today. It's an honor to have you. I'll be sure to be sending you the bracelets very soon. I think I got a shipment coming in this week. And
yeah, sweet. I got mine on. It's faded, but I still got it.
Thank you. I got it tattooed on. So
there you go. Nice. There you go. Sweet.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Awesome. Thank you.